have I been looking forward to this video. So we've been doing an ongoing series on Backfire called Cartridge Wars. We've looked at so many different criteria to analyze these cartridges, and after each episode, you guys have voted out the cartridge you wanted to get rid of. And we are left with six cartridges left in Cartridge Wars. Today is the day you guys are going to vote on our best cartridge. Now remember, our criteria we're looking for something that's a very capable hunting cartridge up to and including elk, and something that you could take out to an NRL hunter match, something you could just want to go shoot on a Saturday without blowing up your shoulder, something that's available. That's what we're looking for. I don't want to make this video where I just read 1,000 numbers to you. So I'm just going to bring the numbers up on the screen for you now, and I'm going to just be referencing different things. Quick access guide to these numbers. Red means it's the worst in the category. Green means it's the best in the category, with the two different colors to show you the first and second best. I just took Hornady Precision Hunter across the board. It's just Hornady Precision Hunter with an ELDX bullet in all of these so that it's an apples to apples fair comparison. First, let's talk about the 6.5 PRC. Look how many dark greens it has in those numbers. The 6.5 PRC is an amazing round. Ballistically, it just crushes. I mean, it's beating the 7 mag in drop and drift at 400 yards. The maximum effective range, 686 yards. That's nuts, right? So for max effective range, I'm just saying when the bullet slows down under 2,000 feet per second, it's not effective anymore. Because many bullet manufacturers say that their bullet won't reach caliber and a half expansion if it's under 2,000 feet per second. However, 6.5 PRC does have an Achilles heel. And it's something that I've experienced hunting. Most everything that I've killed with a 6.5 PRC was very dead very quickly. But shooting blue wildebeest in Africa this year, it just was not up to the task. And I saw the limitation of what a 6.5 millimeter bullet really is capable of on larger game. Another place we can see that is by looking at the frontal area. So this is taking the caliber of the bullet using pi and everything and finding the surface area, right? Well, look, 0.055 inches is the frontal surface area of that bullet, right? But then you look at the 300 cals, they're 0.074. That's 50% more frontal surface area. That's a much bigger cutting surface for killing stuff, right? Then let's look at the popularity category for 6.5 PRC. I took these popularity numbers pre-pandemic, and I'm really glad I got them then because things have been crazy. It'd be impossible to say now. So I took the most popular cartridges, 82 rifle cartridges, ranked them 1 to 82. You'll see the .308 Winchester is the most popular for a bolt action cartridge, right? The 6.5 PRC at the time was number 12. I very much doubt that today. Because when I go to any gun store today, it's the 6.5 Creedmoor section, the 6.5 PRC section, and everything else. 6.5 PRC is just huge. But it's a problem. 308 is also popular, but you can actually get a ton of ammo for it. 6.5 PRC, in the last year, I have one time found 6.5 PRC ammo on the shelf. It's basically unobtainium right now. Hopefully things will improve, but it's been 2.5 years. And so I am concerned about availability here. Let's go to the next cartridge. Let's look at the 270 Winchester. You know, everybody always talks about 30-06. It's such an old design and it's still awesome. But I hear less these days about 270 Winchester. It's an awesome round. It's an awesome long distance round. I mean, look here at the 270. I mean, it's cooking some bullets out pretty fast. 29.70. Shooting a 145, that's pretty fast. That makes you go, wait a second. Look at the 6.5 PRC and the 270. It's shooting almost identical velocity and almost identical bullet weights. And so the 270 Winchester really got a lot of things right a long time ago. You'll see it's mild in recoil, it's very available, it's very inexpensive to shoot. it's a dang effective round. A lot of people say the 270 is light on elk. 270 Winchester is just an awesome, awesome round. Next, we go to one of my very favorite cartridges. I used to be able to call this my favorite cartridge by far. The 7 mag is amazing. I'm a 7 guy. I think the 7mm caliber is about to get a huge push when Hornady releases the 7 PRC, probably this fall. It's going to be another long action cartridge. The 7mm caliber, you can just get such high BC bullets while still not being so heavy that it's just going to crush your shoulder. I think there's 7 as a special place. But the 7 mag doesn't shoot super heavy bullets. A ton of energy in the short range and in the far range. Maximum effective range was almost the winner here. Recoil of a 7 mag is stout, but it's very doable. I mean, for almost all adults, you're gonna have no problem shooting 7 mag. It's just right kind of on the higher end of what most people like to just guarantee you're not gonna develop a flinch and stuff. 7 mag is awesome. It's very available in normal times and not too bad right now. That's my ode to the 7 mag, love it. Okay, let's go 280 Ackley Improved. It's funny, often when I mention 280 Ackley Improved on this channel, I'll get comments of people saying, 280 Ackley Improved, I've never seen that at the store and stuff. I think a lot of people are just kind of used to 270s and 30-06s and stuff and kind of overlook it. 280 Ackley Improved is really available. It's loaded by Hornady, it's loaded by Nosler, it's loaded by Federal, and I mean, nothing's available right now, but in normal times, 280 Ackley's a pretty available cartridge, and a lot of rifle makers are making chamberings available for 280 Ackley. It's just so efficient. Look at this. I consider this to be a good thing. Look at that row of 280 Ackley and all of these numbers. It's like white, 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 white. It's not the most powerful. It doesn't have the most recoil. It doesn't have the most speed. It's just so efficient. It's just a good all-around cartridge. It's beautiful. So look at the max effective range, 615 yards. You can make a long shot with this. The recoil is very mild. I guess he was 10 at the time that I owned a Kimber Mountain Ascent. It was a 5-pound rifle, and I gave a 280 Ackley to my 10-year-old, and he was able to shoot it fine with no suppressor, no silencer or muzzle brake, nothing. So 280 Ackley is a very good all-around cartridge. Love it. Another thing reloaders always say about 280 Ackley is that you have to trim your brass less. You'll see how sharp that shoulder is. Is at 40-degree angle, I believe. And with that, it kind of crimps things in, and so the brass doesn't stretch as much with each firing. Okay, 300 WSM. This is the heavy hitter in the bunch. This is very comparable to a 300 Win Mag. Basically, ballistically, they're identical. Just this is in a short action, which also means we're probably going to get some shorter barrel lengths as well. For elk hunting, I don't know if you can find anything better than 300 WSM. It's just a sweet shooting cartridge. As far as availability, it's pretty much everywhere. I see it commonly on the shelves, even now during crazy times. It's the chamberings in rifle, it's a little bit lower, sometimes a little bit harder to find 300 WSM for rifles, but I do see the ammo out pretty often, but it's the recoil. The question is, can you take the recoil of the 300 WSM? Now, for this contest, you know, up to and including elk, yeah, checkbox for sure, this is great. But would anybody really want to take this to an NRL hunter match? Probably not. Probably it's going to be very few people's first pick. And so that really hurts it in this competition, even though it's an amazing cartridge. Next, the 308 Winchester. I love 308. I shoot so much 308 because it's the cheapest ammo you can buy for the last 2 years. It's been the cheapest ammo you can get because everybody loads for it. Everybody loads for this thing. Has nothing to do with the materials cost. You know, you look at the materials of a 308 and a 300 WSM, we're talking about maybe 5 cents more, you know, powder and brass, etc. It's not about the materials cost. It's about that there's so much competition in 308 that it drives down the cost. So I love that for availability. It definitely helps in 2022. But 308 does have a little bit of an Achilles heel. I think it just needed to be 10% more powerful. Because of this, the max effective range is 388 yards, and then the bullet is going to drop below 2,000 feet per second. Now, I know if you're shooting from a tree stand, you're in a ground blind, and you're just saying, I never shoot past 70 yards, then you should look at the 308. It's an amazing round. For that kind of hunting deer and stuff, give me the 308. That's what I want. But I also have a message to those people that say, I never need anything to shoot far, okay? Let's say you get an elk tag in Wyoming, right? You've been getting points for the last 5 years. You got your elk tag. You've been practicing all summer long. You can make very reliable shots out to 450 yards, right? But you tell yourself, no, I am not a long distance hunter. I won't. You get it out on the mountain. You've been hoofing it around for a week, and you see a 300 class bull at 400 yards. You've been practicing at this distance, and you can consistently do it. And I know a lot of people that can make a 400-yard shot with their eyes closed. You want to shoot it, right? And the 308 is actually, it's dropped below 2,000 feet per second there. You may not get reliable expansion there. And so to me, that's the Achilles heel of the 308, is that long distance ability for hunting. A lot of people can make a 400-yard shot. And if you're in the West, that's not uncommon. If you're in the East or, you know, Midwest, 308 is one of the best cartridges you could possibly pick. So I love 308. It's also the cheapest ammo you can get. So now, what do you pick? How do you pick between all of these cartridges that have so many benefits and drawbacks? I mean, you can just look from the red and green here, from the best and worst in each category. There's nothing that wins everything. You can't. I mean, it's just a balancing act of, do you want recoil or power? Do you want speed? You know? And so you've got to just decide where it ends up for you. Vote below. Thank you for participating in this season of Cartridge Wars.